All right, good morning, cyber traders. Welcome back on this lovely Wednesday. How's everybody doing? Good to see you all. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Hopefully everybody's ready to get back to work. Tuesdays is in the archives. The big weekend is over. I think tomorrow is going to get a little bit better, and then Wednesday things start picking up. Got a couple of some quick little movers this morning. Honestly, it's been a crappy pre-market so far. A couple of things that were moving, but nothing great. Like this IBIO just came from nowhere and did a big pop. That's what we call a head fake, all right, which we'll look at in a little bit. And there's a couple other ones, but I do have something that is moving pretty well, and we're going to get to it, so don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about something regarding about some of the swing trades going on. Now, obviously, you see the Dow futures right now are up 198 points. We got hammered yesterday. People got crushed. And you know what? Listen, we think everything goes up as quickly as they did. Let me tell you, the tech stocks went up so fast. It was just like, do you buy it here? Do you buy it here? Like, crap, I could have bought it, so much, like 10, 20, 30 points cheaper. If it was Tesla, if it was Apple, if it was, Zoom, the list goes on and on and on. And maybe now could be a good opportunity for you guys to maybe consider stepping in. But honestly, I'm not buying it right now. I'm not buying it. I need consistent 3 days. It's called a 3-day rule. It's a 3-day rule of consistency of a pattern before you think if you're going to want to do a swing trade. Now, remember, I say this all the time, and I learned this from my mentors, I've been doing this for 25 years, and it's going from generation to generation to generation of traders. The trend is your friend. You don't buck the trend. You follow the money, and that's it. And when it comes to situations that are happening, you just got to be patient, okay? But you have to learn how to day trade first. End the conversation, okay? Everybody here, and I know we got a bunch of people on YouTube and Facebook Live. We got a bunch of trial members here. I keep saying it all the time. It is. People think trading is so easy, and it is easy. You just got to click this stupid little mountain. That's all, a button right here. That's all you got to do. But you got to know how to day trade first. And then you can learn how to swing trade and trade options. You're doing it backwards. You're doing it backwards, and that's how people are getting really hurt. And let me tell you, I got an influx of people that were interested telling me like, oh, what do I do now? I'm on my swing trade. I'm like, listen, did you see what happened in the last couple of days? But anyway, I know a lot of us are a little upset we missed this big run going on regarding what happened in March. I told you that was coming. But listen, it's going to go back down. You know what? We're going to have a nice October crash. I love Octobers, which is awesome. So that's what we kind of look for. But listen, going on to this morning, there are a couple of things that are moving. But before we get to that and talk about some good swing trades and some good option plays, let's talk about what we traded yesterday. So anyway, the only stock I really did good with yesterday, believe it or not, was the stock Work. This stock obviously just went from $1.60 to $2.40, which is nice about this stock is you could trade several thousand shares of it. I mean, listen, if you bought 10,000 shares and the thing moves a penny, which you could get in and out of it, you mean $100. Stock moves 10 pennies. You're talking $1,000. If you're a beginner trader and you don't have a lot of money, you want to trade and you only had $1,700 to spend, you know what? If they made 20 cents, that's $200. You just made almost, what was that, 10% on your money? But it was a nice, comfortable, moving stock. Had a couple of shakes here and there, but she was pretty good. I did pretty well with that one. I kind of called it a day. CODX, another one, $8 stock. Just basically made a big pop. The stock was a $30 stock. Some of these, look how this stock goes up. Since on the long-term trade, you look at the stock, it went from $5. Look how much it went up. Went to 20 back in, in March. Came right back down to 5. Shot back up to 30. Came back down to 15. Stock was pretty volatile. So it's, I don't know if I could stomach it as a day trade, but swing trade, you got to be careful of it. It did test the big support levels, though, the last couple of days. Now, the big news was yesterday was Nikola. Now, Nikola signed this big deal with General Motors. General Motors bought like 10% of that company. Listen, it's a great story. It's a great stock. We made a lot of money with this stock when it went from like 20 to 90. But it's really hard to day trade. I actually lost money on that trade yesterday because when that news came out yesterday, I did jump into it. And I bought it at like 52. and I sold it at like 50, and it dropped all the way down to 42. So I'm like, oh my God, thank God I got out of it. Listen, being a good day trader is learning how to be a good loser, because if you don't know how to take losses, you can get crushed in this business. So anyway, it wasn't going my way. And, unfortunately, I had to play catch up to make that money back that I lost to Nikola. And it really, I don't know about you guys, but doesn't that suck when you're down like right in the beginning? Like, oh man, I got to dig myself out of hole. It's really hard to dig yourself out of hole. As long as it's not a deep hole, you're fine. But that one did pretty, played some games. It looks like it's starting to be a good swing trade space. Another stock we traded, a little bit also a little volatile. It's more of a category 3 stock that we trade, but space did pretty well yesterday. SKHS. Also another one, Workhorse did pretty well too. Stock's been doing really, really well lately. It's been also been a pretty good swing trade, actually. So that's anyway what we traded yesterday. But listen, it's in the archives. If you notice, a lot of these stocks, even though like Workhorse, it didn't really move until the market opened up, So sometimes pre-market works, sometimes it kind of works our benefit, sometimes it doesn't, But yesterday I expect it to be that way, especially come back from a big holiday. Now let's go back to some of the stocks that we talked about are moving this morning. So we get that pen and paper ready. Oops, typed in the wrong window. All right, so the IBIO, I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to keep an eye on IBIO. It's kind of building some support levels right here. I'm going to bring up the level 3 right here. And you see, you got a big buyer coming around here around 15,000, 11,000, right around here. So you got some people bidding up right now in pre-market. That's making that support levels. Not seeing a lot of sellers, other than they see this big seller for 25,000 and 30,000, right around 230. But you know what? Nice level 1 stock, cheap. If you're an advanced trader, you can trade a lot of shares of it. But this one, I think, is going to be a pretty fun stock that we could probably get into and trading in the morning. Trial. This stock is gapped up really big. It's a 42%, 3.3 million shares, breaking a high right here, a yearly high. But she had this big move, and then she kind of backed off. She's got a big buyer right here around $13, and you can see how she kind of tested it right there. Is he still out? Let me see if that trader's still out there. If that order's still out there, 13. Still out there. No, he left. He must have bid it up. I'm just looking over here. He was out there earlier. He's not there anymore. He probably pulled his order. Okay. So probably he pulled his order and started executing the offer. That could happen. You know what I mean? You decide you want a limit, say, hey, this is what I want to pay. And all of a sudden, guy goes, you know what? No one's selling it to me. So let me just buy it from somebody. He probably ran it up about 50 cents right now. But hey, I want to keep an eye on trial. What else we got? We got this NWGI that's moving pretty nicely in pre-market. Another cheap little stock. I'll give it a level 1 category. Great orders on the right. A lot of buyers and sellers out there. Nice mover. Jose said you made what you made? You made 54 cents in ITCI. Let's bring that up. ITCI. Yeah, that was once again, it had it looks a lot not as nice now because the gap up, but yes, the stock has been trading from 30 to 34. So good for you. Congratulations. That was a nice little trade right there. All right. So what else? So what else is the big news going on? Okay. So listen, I've been a big fan of the airlines and the cruise stocks. Okay. Listen, these stocks, if you look at the charts, okay. Now, once again, this is how you become a good swing trade. I told you, I put all my nephews and nieces in these stocks, not for, to double, hopefully to double by next year. Okay. Now, these stocks took big hits. If you look at the chart on them and you saw what happened with the correction in the market, they really haven't gone down as much. I mean, look at Delta. Look at these things. They really have not gone down. American Airlines, which I hate. I don't like American Airlines. I'll never fly American. I'm gonna tell you a funny story about American. If you ever heard this story before. So anyway, I had to go to a meeting in Chicago, and and I was trying to find a airline that would give me like a good time zone. I had to get back in a certain time. So, I said, you know what? Something happened to me a long time ago on American Airlines, and I never flew it. So it took like 10 years. I finally flew the stock after 10 years flying American Airlines. And this was about like probably like 2-3 years ago. And I got on the plane. First of all, the people there were so rude that worked there. So, and that doesn't matter. I'm doing an hour and a half flight, 2-hour flight. I get on the plane. Okay. I sit down, and on the handrest was an ashtray. An ashtray. You know, those little ashtrays of internet. How old do you think that plane was? An ashtray in the middle. And I said, I will never fly this airline ever again. That was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. So you can imagine plane was back in the 70s. That was really bad. So I'm not an American Airlines fan, but it doesn't mean I still won't day trade it, because I did make some money on the day trade on it. So they have all new planes now, Ron. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm still a fan of what is that ashtray, Uncle Fausto? Andre is saying that's pretty funny, right? I was so gross. That was really bad. But anyway, let's get back to the trading part of it. So anyway, airlines do look pretty good as a swing trade if people looking at them. I'm just watching the trend on how they're moving. But as a day trade, listen, there was a couple other stocks that came up here, like this ITCI. We already just talked about that one. Trial has got some resistance levels right here. You can see on the big percentage gainers losers. Not a bunch of big losers out there on the shorts, though. I mean, you got some penny stocks that are moving. But regarding about what's going on with the market with that big correction, just be very careful on these swing trades, okay? Think of that we probably hit a bottom here. You're going to get a lot of volatility in the stock market. Remember, I say this every day. You got the election coming up. You got, one's in first, one's in second, one's in first. Remember, there's no such thing as second place when it comes to the presidency, all right? So, but they all have, and listen, it takes only one thing that they say that could make one stock take off, or maybe one industry take off and another industry to get crushed. Okay. So, I really think the reason why the market really went down a lot too, not only because of what they said about yesterday, regarding about the tech stocks, whatever, but I really think is because, the Congress are fighting because of the stimulus package regarding about this thing. One wants to spend $3 trillion, the other wants to spend $300 million. And I mean, is there going to be any fair ground? And honestly, I could be, I'm not being political or anything. I don't think anything's going to happen until November 3rd. So it's unfortunately for some people that got caught up, especially being here in New York, what's happening with the restaurants. I really think it's just it's all going to change November 3rd. Eventually people say, open up all the restaurants. But everything's okay now. So I don't know. There's a big war going on. So you know what? That makes trading the market that much more volatile and that much more exciting. Okay. But you got to listen what they're saying. And by you being in a cyber group room, that's one of the things that we have to kind of focus on. They're going to take away your guns. The gun stocks are going to take off. Oh, they're not going to take away your guns. The gun stocks get crushed. Solar stocks, pot stocks, whatever it is. But the airlines really interest me. That really, regarding about, we got the worst news. They haven't gone down that much. But any other stocks I'm missing, guys, I did not call up. Matthew says the NIO that's moving. Yeah, that one looks pretty good. We've done really well with NIO. We just know it's a pretty damn volatile stock. Tube says, as long as the plane does not have rubber bands spinning the propeller. Well, my son, actually, I bought him one of those the other day. Those little paper airplanes. Pretty cool thing. I loved them when I was a little kid. They're making like a big comeback. But I definitely would not fly one like that. All right, guys, listen. What else we got? Chung says we got the IBIO. Is it finally making a move? It's trying to make a move. Not yet. But this is something that you're gonna might have to trade a lot of shares and just get in and out of it. Remember, I did it. This is something you might have to scalp. Okay, guys. All right, everybody, let's get back to trading. Now, before we go, don't forget, tomorrow, let me just bring this up and share with everybody. So tomorrow, don't forget, guys, we got open house here every Thursday at 12 o'clock. So if you have not registered, click on the bottom. And if you're on YouTube, Facebook Live, just register. We got the link up there. Students, you're always welcome to come here. It's always great to see you guys come and support CTU. And, you know, the great thing about it is that you get to hear what other people are doing, what they're saying, the difference of where you are and where you're at now. So that's also very educational. But if you want to learn more about level 3, level 4, if you want to know about what's moving, what to expect, find out what the secret sauce is when it comes to trading, don't miss this opportunity tomorrow at Thursday. And if you are, like I said, and we also do this every morning and afternoon at 9 and 2:30 if you're joining us for the first time. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading. Be safe. And let's try to make some money today. Okay, guys? We'll start commentating in the room at 9:30. Good luck.